Images, images. I'm in the business of images. Many of you out there in the audience are in the business of images. How are they created? What do they mean? My talk today for the IR Spear Boy Memorial Lecture is really about images. In this country of gods and goddesses, not one god and one goddess, but you would say thousands, we and our imagination, I wouldn't even say are influenced, I'd say are almost controlled by images. And this is something that has always inflamed my imagination. I've always felt this has been a fantastic idea, and perhaps we haven't paid enough attention in the advertising business, in the business of images, to this. What you saw in front of you was a commodity, and it turned into a brand. That was a bare forked animal who, when he turned after he was dressed, became an emperor. It's an image I used, in fact, many years ago when I did Tughlaq, and the actor in question today is not Kabir Bedi, but he's every bit as body beautiful, you might say. And the same way we, in the advertising profession, take commodities, take products, and we turn them into brands. Could I have the lights on at the back of the hall, please? This is something which I want to touch on today, and what better opportunity could I say than it is not just us advertising people. Forget it. I think to myself, could I really have turned a quiet, reticent widow into a begum within 6 weeks? I have skills, but not quite that skills. Could I, with all what Stanley has said, and God bless him, unintended fun, because I'm known really not as God, it's all rubbish. I'm known as the devil. I'm known as the devil's advocate. I always take the opposite position. Anyway, could I have done that? No, I'm telling you I couldn't have. And could I have turned the most powerful man in the world into a buffoon in a matter of a week? No, I couldn't have done that either. So it's, hello, Sonia. Goodbye, Clinton. That's where we are. Friends, this evening, I have some good news for you and some bad news. And as the doctor who rang up his patient said, Mr. Shah, I have some good news for you and some bad news for you. Which do you want to hear first? So Mr. Shah said, well, the doctor, I want to hear the good news first, the good news, please, the good news. Says, Mr. Shah, I had a look at your x-rays, and I have to inform you that you have 24 hours to live. He said, 24 hours? That's the good news? That's the good news? What's the bad news? Says, Mr. Shah, the bad news is, I was supposed to phone you yesterday. Okay, in the old days, we advertising men worshipped the USP. And the good news was from Russell Reeves, those who may have remembered that legendary character, he invented the USP, which basically meant the unique selling proposition. So you're always looking for something in the product that you could hold on to and offer it to the consumer which was unique. It was always rational. Something solid, something very, very solid. Well, I'm afraid today I have to tell you that Russell Reeves is dead. He died some years ago, and his US USP is about to die today. So could you turn up the chandelier light a bit, please? Bring it up a little, so that everyone can see. Yes, I was a great admirer of Rosser Ames in the 60s. But there is his USP. You see that black balloon up there? That's his USP. And since he died some years ago, I don't think he'll really mind if I kill his USP today. So let's see if I can get it. My aim is not all that good at this age, you know, trembling hand and all that. But 1, 2, 3. Indian gun. Okay, but what about the new USP? The new USP. So I say to you, friends, that the USP is dead. There it went. You saw it. And now keep the lights up, please. Long live the USP, as they say about the king. The king is dead. Long live the king. So that is the new USP. And let me see if I can let the new USP, Stanley's getting frightened, no Stanley. It's not the Grim Reaper, Stan, sorry God. Let's see if I can set it free and take wing. There it goes, the new USP, the unique selling, or rather the unique strategic personality, the unique strategic personality, USP. Today I announce it, not because I invented it, but because it's a wrong. We are so obsessed, we advertising people, with find something about the product that is unique, and then the product will more or less sell itself. But every country really sells itself on personality. Take this one. Great Britain. Copyright has taken great license. You know, Great Britain is so unique that it even spell it in a unique way. Sunil Alad here? Don't spell Britannia biscuits like that, my boy. Okay. You know, before we got our independence, India got its independence, Great Britain was known as Stan? Yeah, but what was it known? What was its image around the world? The Empire. The Empire, where the sun never sets. The British Raj in India, as they say. They don't say, by the way, Raj. They say Raj. Corrected all my English friends, they just can't seem to do it. Okay. The British Raj was the big thing. Today, 50 years later, what has happened to the image of that country? The sick man of Europe. Images go up, images go down. USPs last for a fraction of time, and I'll show you in a minute. Take another country, before the war, okay? Before the war, Mr. Satak, Japan. क्या आप क्या सोचते हैं? मेरा जूती है जापानी मेरा. Yes? Cheapos. Cheapos. When Abdul Hamid Sattar and I were in college, Japanese meant cardboard shoes. You wore them for a week and you know the cardboard shoes. I swear. Today, after World War II, Japan, high tech, the country in the world that makes the best of everything. Whether it's hi-fis, whether it's Yamaha keyboard Stanley, whether it's cars, whatever. What a change in image. How do these changes come about in the images? And it's not just countries, as we all know. Cities. Take cities. The last time I saw Paris, right? Brings back memories and Paris of art and culture, a flowering city, a movable feast. Ernest Hemingway wrote, a movable, what a beautiful imagery, a movable feast. And then other cities. This one I'm afraid you haven't heard of, so perhaps I should skip it really. today's image of Bangalore? Anyone? A two-word description of Bangalore is called the Garden City. Can you call it the Garden City today? No. The city of smog. But besides that, what about the positive aspect? What does Bill Gates call Bangalore? The new Silicon Valley. That should inspire some of us. The new Silicon Valley. Silicon Valley has more millionaires per square foot of ground than any other piece of real estate on earth. Recently, Bhatia, I think from Bangalore only, went across 2 years ago. You read the story? Everyone knows the story. Went across and he invented something called Hotmail. And he got in the first year 1 million subscribers, of which at least 500,000 were of course NRIs who thought this was some kind of Playboy club. Hotmail. Now seriously, within 2 years I believe he had 10 million subscribers, and within 2.25 years Bill Gates paid him $100 million for his company, which is established a little more than 2 years ago. So it's true. Anyone who says this country has no future is either unable to understand what future means. Today, a country with a future is a country with ideas. When America was going downhill and Japan had all the ideas, Lee Iacocca of Chrysler said, am I right, Xerxes? He said, what is wrong with this country? It's good we have competition. Let's improve our goddamn product. And General Motors and all the other, they produce it cheaper and better, and they have this zero defect. How can you have zero defect? They said, how can you have zero defect? And today, zero defect is a farman in America, not only in Japan. So it just shows you how other people going on the fast track can actually inspire you to do better. But these are all images. Images, true, no doubt about it. Politicians, as I said earlier, what's happened to good old Bill Clinton? The problem, I think, is that our mindset is always dominated by personalities, not necessarily only by facts or figures, not even by issues, but by personalities. And you will notice that not just fresh personalities like Tony Blair of Great Britain, who doesn't say much, but when he does, he always says it with a right? It's the way he projects his personality. A lot of people are finding out that John F. Kennedy, JFK, one of my great heroes, was actually not all that, in the top story. And Reagan, whose slogan, does anyone know Reagan's slogan that brought him to power, knocked Jimmy Carter out of the race? Where he won, I forget, 49 out of 50 states. Reagan, the great actor, who always began all his speeches with, "My fellow Americans." He always used that very sincere, slightly gruff voice. He was not your dad. Actually, he was more like your granddad. At that time, nobody knew, and the slogan incidentally was, and this is something that you've got to realize how emotions work on us. And it worked on the Americans because at that time, hostages had been taken in Iran, 28 hostages. Jimmy Carter, with all his business about, human rights and all, didn't want to go in and, knock the hell out of the Iranians. And all Reagan said, or rather his spin doctor said, Roger Ailes, brilliant image man, he said, let's have a simple slogan that Americans can understand that will inspire them. And all he said was, it's morning again in America. And Americans realized that they were a great power. They had just gone to sleep. The darkness had come with Jimmy Carter. And here was Ronald Reagan, the granddaddy figure like Eisenhower many years before, also a Republican. What they didn't know, of course, is that Reagan at that time was suffering from Alzheimer and he couldn't remember the slogan itself. So, it's not only, as I say, the facts, the figures, the issues, but you've got to have your personalities. But by the way, I must tell you, when you're in the political arena, like in the brand arena, you've got to have a good-looking rapper. You've got to have a good-looking president. You've got to have a good-looking prime minister. And so, when this man says, my chances are very good, we look at it. Okay. Companies have to have good images. One of the finest companies in this country, bar none, and it's not an MNC, though I have been associated with Hindustan Lever for 37 years during my working career, and a fine company. But that's not the company that had the real image. This company had the image above all others. And I always said to JRD earlier and to Ratan later,